Squad of y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Squad.
Squaw.
We are live on Instagram today. So if you
You're
follow us, thank you for following us, first of all.
appreciate that.
But yeah, we will try to be live more,
Twice a month.
maybe, because we may do like wisdom one time and then
Oh.
Instagram the other.
Oh, you talking about them? Okay, never mind.
So like when we come here twice a month, we may be able to wisdom
then
and
Instagram the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. I'm with it.
Who is that? Is that Brandy? No, I don't think that's Brandy.
I don't know.
I can't see from this.
Shh, blind.
I ain't blind. I just see my
I'm talking about me.
How are you today?
It's been a good day. Some good conversation that happened yesterday, so I'm like re-energized, I guess.
Okay.
Really just trying to look. I'm like, Lord, what you want me to do now?
A daily mood. Lord, momentarily, every moment. Lord, what you want me to do?
What you want me to do now? I can't move without you. Like, but I see some jobs coming up, and I'm like, if you will allow me,
Right.
I'm gonna be diamond dancing. I'm almost. I hope I get that job. Boy, I could probably get 6 figures. Oh. Anyway, I pray.
Oof.
I pray because it's like the top end of it's like 116, and I'm gonna try. I'll be the one to be like, I'll work for it. Start me off at 80. I load myself up.
Dear Heavenly Father. I see what you've done for others.
And I'm talking about dating. He in the neighborhood.
He really is. That's why I'm like, I've seen what you've done for others.
So many of my homies done got job offers. I'm just like, I'm proud of them.
Amen. Like I see him, and I'd be like, oh, I'm so happy.
It's so weird sometimes though, because I be like, I really came a long way with people I know.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, coming from here, and now I can literally say, oh yeah, I got a friend that's a pharmacist.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I got a couple friends that's engineers.
Right.
I'm like, huh? I only knew folks that sell your bag for the longest. Probably, and I knew some shooters. I'm just saying. I feel the evolution, the maturity.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of proud.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Today, after I got that transcript, I was so happy and had pep in my step and was singing and all that. I was like,
ooh, speaking of which, I got homework.
Going to school.
You going back to school. And I got homework due. Ooh. I might be transferring, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to see how I go and see, because this one program I'm in, they talking about 3-4 years. I'm just like,
Yeah, that's my only thing. I was like, Lord, it's time. But also, you don't care about time.
And you don't.
You make it happen regardless, and I'ma just trust you.
Right.
It's a little difficult, but
So
trust you.
that's why I'm at with it. I'm trying to see if he want me to move. I'm technically in a Troy online open house right now.
Yeah, I got a meeting with a advisor tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I got to email the advisor.
Yeah.
At UAB too, because they talking about I might transfer in with some credits, so and get done.
I told you, bring Auburn to the 205.
Be a blazer.
Bring 805 to the 205.
Ooh, don't do that. Don't do that. We will leave 80. No, we won't. I mean, hey.
Bring 805 and 461 to the 205.
Okay, maybe 461. But I'm gonna see what God say. If he want me to, I'm gonna try. And I'm like, Lord, if you want me to do it, I'm gonna go ahead and put forth an effort, and you will let it be so. If not, do not. But yeah, we gonna see.
I like that we're already like off on the conversation. Like, since we're already talking about like how we move by first asking God before Christ. Let's talk about our decision making before Christ.
Decision making.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean?
Like, how did you make this? Like, when I really sit and look back on my life, when I look back over my life, and I think about some of the things that I have experienced, I be like, Jesus, how?
I was kept.
Very.
I was kept, boy.
Listen, I have put myself in positions to invite people to, like, I've invited people to my house that I did not know. I have been to people's house that I did not know.
Yeah.
I have, like, sat at a whole witch's house multiple times
We
while
act-
she has read my cards. Like, I've interacted with her children and everything. Like,
I mean, that's some witches. Yeah, technically, yeah.
I
You
I have driven under the influence of a few things.
driven, boy. I done sped.
Same. Terrible. Listen,
I haven't.
Suge Jordan getting off work from Love Stuff one night.
Suge.
Terrible. And then I had to be at work the next morning, and I invited this girl to my house that I worked with at Love Stuff. And
Dangerous.
yes, but also, like, she came, we ate food, got high. Like, I offered to make the food if she brought the weed. And
Hey, that's a good,
it's a good trade-off. But
trade off back then.
yeah, but we smoked or whatever, woke up the next day still high, and had to go to work at 9 o'clock in the morning. She didn't have to go to work, but I did.
Bad decision making.
Bad decision making. And I'm, like, still high, speeding down Suge Jordan on my way to work.
Ain't nobody tell you.
Trash.
No, the worst. I remember. It's been so many times. Suge in college. I'm gonna tell you, it's a bunch. I am owed a bunch of police tickets from the many times that I have drove college and Suge blazed, and shit. And Suge at night high is a
It's
very dangerous endeavor. You see stuff that ain't there, and then you don't see the stuff that's there quick enough.
I've done that, like, and then made the mistake of this is the scene.
Oh, you
Midnight.
picture it.
Picture it, Sicily, 19. Picture it, Auburn, 2016.
Oh, sheesh. Not a good year for me. It's a great year. but not a good
Yeah.
year.
No, 2017.
Interesting year.
Interesting year. Very interesting. In the car, midnight, getting off work.
Love stuff.
Yes.
Ooh.
High.
So you leave.
Turn the heat all the way up because it was a cold time. That's why I remember it's 2017 because it was early 2017.
Oh yeah, it was super cold.
It was cold.
And you leaving from
Heat
Love
on
Stuff.
blast, listening to Sonder.
You going on East University, going to Suge, ain't you?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Leaving, like, out the Winn-Dixie parking lot. And yeah, straight down. And I know when I turn up that heat and play Sonder,
Uh-oh.
I get like,
Oh, you in a box? Yeah, nah, ain't nobody. Boy, what you drive like that for?
and I'm just in the car.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
And I was at Copper Beach at the time, so I had to go.
You
go
had to
to
drive
Copper Beach.
that far? Oh, you was at Copper Beach then.
And
I
at
was,
the time, I was like,
That
I
was-
should have took.
I was at Copper Beach.
I
Yeah,
should have
this
went through
805.
Magnolia.
Boy,
I should have went through Magnolia.
ain't no way, boy.
And I just don't know. And I've done that, not that particular thing,
I
but
would've
just in the car high at night
I would have
or during the day because I was going to class high too. I started going to class high, started going to work high, and just doing it consistently. I should not be here.
Mm-mm.
I thank God that I am, and I know it's only God.
My decision making.
I've gotten home and not known how.
Oh, facts. Boy, that's too many times. It's been a couple times I just woke up in bed and I was like, bruh. I remember where I
On
was
autopilot driving.
and you know them times when you finally pull up at the house and it's like
How did I get
you at the driveway, you drove up and you just like,
terrible times?
bro, how did I even, bro, what? And I'm sitting up there trying to process the whole trip back in my head.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how, but I'm gonna get out the car now. I'm gonna go.
And I think about that. Like, I think about how many things I have done without God, and He still kept me. And I think about it because now, like I said, every single thing, like, I make sure I include God in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just be like, I have gotten into relationships without seeking God. I have many. every single relationship up to this point, I have gotten in without seeking God. And not even like in high school when I was trying to believe in God, like
when I wasn't,
trying to believe in the God that I was told about. It was more of, it was never, do you want me to do this? It was always, can I have this?
What you call it?
Let me have
What it
this.
was called? Witch prayers.
Yeah, them witchcraft prayers.
Witchcraft prayers. Yeah.
It was always that. It was always, let me have this. Why can't I have this?
See.
Spoiled brat.
Those type of prayers started happening in college, and I was like, we went from "Can I have this" to, and everybody knows this prayer. Lord, if you can
just
get
let
me
me
out
just-
of this one. I done prayed that so many times. I be sitting there just like, Father, please, if you can just get me out of this one, I promise I'll never do it again. Next week, do it again. But like, I would say your decision making was doing stuff like asking him, like, "Hey, can I do this? Let me do this."
That didn't last long.
Mine was, all right, Lord, I need help with this. Please let me know. All right, I need to go do something. Like, I would never wait. I'll pray something and then immediately go try to do a plan of my own. And whatever plan I set up based on not listening or whatever I had in my mind, boy, that's why I don't understand how many triumphs I've had. Because I have had, like, if I had a triumph, it is purely because God. 'Cause
Yes.
it was not me.
Yes.
Because, boy, on my own, I know for a fact my plan was garbage.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I'm gonna say this. When it came to my decision making before Christ, fully, I had a over analytic, research based decision making process. If I don't know something, I'm gonna go find out, and I'm gonna research until I understand the topic enough to where I can at least converse about it competently. So when it came to my decision makings, you might as well call me the Libra scale, because I was like, pros and cons here. All right, I could do this, but then that's gonna make this and this happen. Or I can do this, which don't sound too good in the beginning, but this and this and this come out of it, right? How about screw both of them? I'm gonna go do this. And I would go from over analytic and heavily researched to just spur of the moment.
Yeah.
In anything.
I was very hedonistic with my decision making, meaning I was doing everything based off how I felt. Terrible.
I ain't have enough emotion sometimes.
I mean, like, I did everything based off how I felt, but it was also very selfish. Like, and I think about now, like, I'm 25, or I'm about to be 25, and
You're gonna be a quarter.
I am. You know, Tiffany didn't know we were old.
Sorry.
Like, we was talking the other night at Bible study, and I was telling her, yeah, I'm getting ready to be 25. She said, you're 25?
Yeah, that's the reason why we have wisdom, child.
I said, yeah, listen, it's some 25-year-olds.
I'm talking about us, not them.
But
age ain't always maturity. But
I was just like, yeah, I'm going to be 25. Like, all of us close to 30. So, you the only one, you the youngest one. She said, I knew I was the youngest, but I didn't know I was that young. I said, yeah, Jay 28. She said, what?
Hey, man, 28 look good.
But
I don't look that old.
And she said she thought she was 23.
I appreciate that. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep
She
it
thought
rolling.
Brandon was 22.
She thought you was what, 21?
Yeah.
You're fresh. She thought you had fresh look on your lips. Oh my God, no.
But I'm 25, and what plays in my head now is my mom always telling me, like, when she learned this piece of information when I was 16, that my brain was not fully developed. And your brain does not, your prefrontal cortex, which is your decision-making brain, basically, it does not fully develop until you're 25. And so
between 24 and 26.
Yeah. And so I think about that
Oh, Lord.
now and how I make decisions now.
No
of course,
wonder I was
like,
stupid.
exactly. All of us have that stupid time. And then, of course, God, that's the reason why God gives us parents. Like, he makes sure there are people ahead of us or elders or mentors or whatever. He gives us people to make sure that we have some guidance. But we don't listen.
I would say this, too, about guidance. I think sometimes, and this is sometimes why I feel like we need to give our parents more grace in this regard.
Yeah.
Sometimes the guidance is not based off of what they do right. It's for you to avoid what
they did wrong. But at the time, like, especially at 16, I was just like, I'm gonna make dumb decisions. I didn't tell her this, but to myself, I was like, she know I'm gonna make dumb decisions. Why not just let me do it?
You were
Dumb.
16 for
Dumb.
sure.
Just
that's-
let me do it. That's part of life. I'm not gonna
it's
learn
a
if
part
you're
of the
not
learning
gonna-
process. Let me do something stupid.
Terrible.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I think about that, and like not just like I make my decisions based on God now, but like and like I make sure to consult God first.
Mm-hmm.
But I also realize like the selfishness of the decisions that I've made in the past, because now I do think more about how other people are affected by my decisions.
I was total opposite. I was the total opposite. All my decisions were based on other people.
Yeah. I at the I just I got to college and I was just like, I'm free to do what I want. Yeah, it was that. Like I'm free to do what I want. I'm not gonna answer to anybody. I'm grown, especially because like, and I'm not grown, but I'm grown, and I was just used to being spoiled. Not spoiled. Not spoiled. That's not the word I'm looking for. I was used to being sheltered. Because I had a strict mom and I didn't get to do a lot. And it was basically it was really out of her being protective. But I didn't see that. I felt like she was being controlling. I felt like she was being too protective and wouldn't let me experience life. And so when I got out of her house, I was like, I'm gonna do what I want.
Now I do what I want.
Now I do what I want.
No, that's stupid.
And like that was for the longest time. That's why I didn't even want to move back in. Like
It'd be like that.
God, I knew like something kept nudging me to come back to Birmingham before all that stuff went down in 2020.
Yeah,
Like
man.
December 2019, when my lights got cut off and I had to ask you for help. Well, I didn't even. I asked if I could stay at your house for a few days until I got the money, and
And
you
I was
just
like, that don't even make sense.
And you offered to give me the money to pay it. Like y'all, my lights were out.
Oh yeah.
My lights were out. I woke up because I didn't have a bed yet. I was down bad. I didn't have a bed yet. Like I had been living in that apartment since July. From July to February, I did not have a bed. I was sleeping on an air mattress, and then the air mattress deflated somehow, so I had to get another one, and then that one deflated.
Pressure.
So
They
I was
eventually
just
leak.
yeah. So then I was just laying on it. I was just laying on it, making a pallet every night, and I woke up.
But let me tell you something. If I had known that during that time, you would have got cussed out a long time ago. I would have cussed you out on the way to Sam's getting you a mattress. Or at least to some of them stores that could have got you a cheap mattress. I would have been cussing you out from the root to the tutor.
Yeah, I was down bad.
I ain't even know.
And I didn't tell anybody.
No wonder you ain't let us in the room.
Pretty much, I didn't let y'all in my house for real. Like when I got a table, it was a table that my mama gave me because somebody gave it to her.
First of all, that table was fire.
It was, but it wasn't my style.
It wasn't.
And
It wasn't my style to take down because that was a pain.
Yeah, but like I had it, I accepted it because I was like, I need some piece of furniture, and so it came with chairs too. So that's
when you first started doing house sets when you got that table in it.
No,
or was it
because
when
at
you
that
got
time the
futon?
only people coming over was Brandon and Dion, and they was coming over to smoke.
Yeah, because I wasn't invited.
It wasn't that you weren't invited.
It was poor timing.
It was poor timing.
I was probably out of town a lot. So.
And I think at that time, honestly, I was also just embarrassed to have you at my house.
Me?
Yeah, I don't know. It was like, it's like Jay is like put together and this and that. I don't know. Like that's how my thought process was.
The respect you had for that
lie.
lie.
Yeah. And I was just like, I don't want Jay. And it's not to say I didn't respect the other ones. It was just like
that is funny.
That does sound bad, but like no, it was really like
Jay put together. Jay was trying.
I don't know that at the time.
I know. I was like, Jay was out here surviving. Just it looked good.
But yeah, it was just like I don't want Jay to come over here. Dion, I mean, it's fine. Like I don't know. Something about it was just weird. Cause again, I don't look at them like that. I don't look at them like
I was Big Bro Jay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Big Bro, like, and I saw that. I still think about that because I don't know if it was Christ like being on you, the Holy Spirit being on you, or what. Because then I don't want to say that and then discredit them. But like when you got back in town, when I was having all that stuff, that's why I hugged you so tight and cried because I was just like, I'm gonna cry again.
I remember that day.
Yeah,
I
and I
had.
was just like, cause even then, like Brandon was staying with me overnight,
Mm-hmm.
Dion was staying with me overnight, and it just didn't. It wasn't the same.
It wasn't no peace.
It wasn't no peace, and it's not to say again that
Not
they don't
nothing
have
against them.
peace or nothing like that.
What was directed and assigned at the time was not
Not
there.
yeah,
Yeah. That I got in trouble for a lot, but that's fine. We'll put that on the back burner.
and so it was like, and that's why I was at your house for as long as I was.
Look,
Like, and I even like I tried like staying at Brandon's house at the time, and it still just wasn't the same. And again, it wasn't nothing against him. It was just like some just don't feel like it's not
peace.
the same.
It was a certain ordained peace that made you have to be in a certain place in
Yeah,
order to. But the reason it makes sense considering what all you had to learn during that time.
because also they weren't talking to me about God.
Well, no, I was
You
talking.
were just like talking about it, and I had to listen. But
I ain't force it.
yeah, you didn't force it, and like they weren't really talking to me about God like that at the time. And I know I get it. Like it was probably like, oh, I don't want to offend her or make her feel whatever or whatever.
Nah, they was in their own situations at the time.
That
If
too.
I remember that correctly, because because Dion had just moved out. You remember when you
Yeah, I
had gotten
moved out.
to?
Yeah, at a 461.
Yeah, 461 had just went through a metamorphosis.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
but yeah, I was on. I was not bad. I was on the floor, and I woke up that morning trembling because I got off work and I knew the bill was due. I ain't think they was gonna cut my
Well,
lights
you made
off.
me so mad that day. Boy.
I got off work that night and I was like, all right, my light's still on. It's still warm in here. Bet. I ran in, slammed the door, make sure ain't no heat getting out. And then I went to sleep, woke up shivering, and Peppermint was shivering, and that's what like broke me down because I was like, oh crap. Peppermint is my dog, y'all. But when I saw her like shivering, I called my mama and I was just like, my lights are off, and I'm crying. My lights are off. Peppermint is shivering. I don't know what to do. And my mama was upset because
As she should
be.
be.
She was upset because I waited to the last minute, and
Because her child is suffering and she went to the last minute.
I didn't like
Bad decision making.
bad decision making because I didn't set no money. So like the way I make decisions with money now is even different, and I thank God. I thank God because child, I have been almost evicted
Boy, I ain't gonna hold
twice.
you. If I ever hit like a lotto or something, do you know how many people
Same.
I'm finna slide money to?
Same.
Like,
if God bless this like abundantly,
it's
like
some
I
people
think
I owe.
he going to, like I owe money. I'm gonna like
I remember
get
one
all
time
that.
I looked at my Cash App like years ago when and just seeing how much a person had helped me when it came to back and forth when stuff was going down, and I was like, boy, if I ever get it right, I'm gonna bless her life. But I mean, and I'm still like that. I feel like I'm still gonna slide these secret manila envelopes with the car keys and the coordinates, so y'all can meet me at this certain location in order to receive y'all wire transfers and NDAs. I ain't playing. I have a lotto winning strategy to people that don't know at home. When I win the lotto, and if you one of the lucky people that win the lotto, you're gonna get a manila envelope delivered by somebody in a tuxedo, probably with white gloves, because I don't want no traces. Inside the vanilla envelope will be car keys and either a Google Maps or Apple Maps link or coordinates. You get however which way to get to those coordinates. It will be a black SUV that the keys will go to. Inside the glove compartment will be another set of coordinates, or it will be pre-programmed in the GPS inside of the SUV. You will travel to wherever this coordinate take you to, which will probably be a private compound that will be off-grid somewhat, protected, heavily gated, guarded, in a forest somewhere with nothing but water resources. Everything's going to be off the grid. So if anything happened, this is going to be the compound.
Yeah.
And when we come in, you're going to come in through the back, not the front. Oh, this is thought out through the back. Once you come through the back, Instagram, y'all listening. When you come through the back, you will then sit down at the table, and it's going to be, I told you about the table.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a large dinner setting table to where you will have elbow room. This is how important this is. You can be able to swing your knees and not hit somebody. That's how big this table going to be. You're going to get a 3-course meal. You're going to get your appetizer. You can get whatever thing you got in the middle. Cool. The dessert will be on a silver platter, and when you lift up the silver platter, the dome top, it's going to be 2 pieces of paper. It's going to be an NDA and a wire transfer number. You cannot take that wire transfer number till you sign the NDA. If you violate this NDA, you will give me my money back. Not playing. Also, if you had to come, because I'm going to give everybody at least a meal. At least. I'm going to give you a meal. If you blow through a meal, in order to come ask me for some more money, you better have a business plan, and I'm getting investment percentage. So, Yana getting the compound, because she want to be off-grid so bad. Because I'm going to have like 5. Y'all ain't going to know. It's going to be countless ones throughout the South of just compounds in particular states. I'm going to Elon Musk this thing. Just random. But it's going to be one in Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Tennessee, Louisiana.
Okay.
I'm not touching Florida. I might do one in Florida due to taxes. But I'm not going to Texas. Period. And if I do Florida, it's going to be not South Florida. Just saying.
You don't want smoke with a South Florida nigga.
I don't.
Sorry.
Well, I'm going to put a compound on some sand. I need to go in the part of Florida that got trees.
He listen
not
to
pumps.
Denzel Curry and so on.
Right. But that's the plan. So when y'all get these manila envelopes, just know it's game time. And shut up and don't say nothing to nobody. But yeah.
I want to live my off-grid life so bad.
Look.
Like, just married with my children, our off-grid life, our me homeschooling the children. We ain't got to worry about no money. Our resources are
homeschooling
there.
these kids is what I'm gonna laugh at. But go everything else, I'm like, yeah, homeschool. Gonna be like, well, let's see how this goes. My mamas is very intelligent. However, I feel they're gonna be like, Uncle Jay, we learned this. Boy, what your mama tell you that for? Then I'm gonna have to rewrite their program just a little bit. Just gonna slide a slight virus, just a slight one. Just be like, yes, but you can do it this way too. And then let them make the choice. And then they're going to come home. Uncle Jay taught us this, mama. And you're going to be mad and call me.
I ain't going to be mad.
Because you know it's coming. Just don't send them to my house. They're going to come out warriors.
I'm just going to look at them like,
that
makes sense. I like, it makes sense that he told you that. But
and I'm be sitting grinning like this. Because I'm making minions. My bad. But anyway, part of my decision making.
Yeah. Bad decisions. I was very poor with money, and it's put me in terrible positions. Like I said, my life's been turned off. I done been evicted. Well, not evicted, almost evicted, because I was 3 months behind on rent.
You didn't have an option, so there was that.
Yeah, that was a different situation.
And they were trash too.
Almost evicted at my other apartment, at that apartment where I was on the floor. Which they got on my nerves. Phone spoofing is illegal, y'all. If don't nobody tell you, phone spoofing is illegal. So if somebody calls you from a number that is like a number that is familiar to you, that's phone spoofing, and that's illegal. And my landlady did that mess. She called my phone from my grandma's phone number. First of all, that number is not even a number you can dial out from.
Oh, I remember.
So
this.
she faked
remember
my grandma's number to get a hold of me. And she was like, well, you weren't answering our call. I said, ma'am, I was at work.
Trying to get you your money.
Exactly.
That'd be the worst part. You intervene in me trying to get your money to ask for your money.
Exactly.
All right, bro. That make you not want to give the
Exactly. I'm like, you lucky I got to live here. Because if I didn't have to live here, you ain't getting nothing.
And you saw how that went. You didn't have to live there.
I didn't.
And they tried you too. Because I remember when they put them folks in the house immediately after.
They did.
And
I was like, oh,
you
I
know
you don't think I'm finna pay all this. No.
When you definitely put somebody in like
That's
the
why
next week.
I called Dion. I said, take a picture to see if you see some folks in my house at where I was. And sure enough, there were people there.
Yeah, I'm talking about with furniture.
And I
in there.
said, I know this bill, this money better come down. This debt that I owe better come down, and it did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
What was my bad decision making before Christ? I'm trying to see what I
Me and my bad decision.
as far as genres, I would say your decisions was based off selfish stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like mine was always based off of doing stuff for other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I always ended up making bad decisions based off of trying to help somebody
Mm-hmm.
or putting other people above myself
Mm-hmm.
because I always had just a generous heart in general.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, that got me into a lot of wacky situations.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, especially in relationships, I've had some wacky situations because I put my partner over myself
Mm.
and sacrificed a lot of how I felt during the time or decision making I should have done that may have prevented certain conflicts with said partners
Mhm.
if I wasn't putting them so high
Mm.
and made compromises or communicated better.
Mm.
But I was purely thinking of doing stuff more for them than me.
Mm.
Or when it came to friends, sports, organizations, all them types of stuff, I always put everybody else's well being before mine.
And that's why you died.
Thanks. I wasn't going, but yes. Yes. Dang. You had to drop the mic with that one, like, bro, like
What you hear?
barely. But I was, yes, that's how I died. Goodness. But, have I ever told
I
the
don't
I
know.
died story
I don't
on the
think
podcast?
so. No, you haven't.
Is
Not
that-
the whole story.
Is
no.
it today? Probably not.
Probably not.
Mm-mm.
Maybe we only 30 minutes in.
Yeah, no, that's a longer than 30-minute conversation, sir. Man. But everything, like even my dreams, I put other people ahead of me.
Mm.
Like I remember one time, like I told the track and field story
Mm.
and how I couldn't try to compete with another person and take their scholarship
Yeah.
when I had rightfully deserved mine.
Yeah.
It didn't feel right. So even in a dream I had, I put not on hold, but completely cut off due to the fact of I put other people's well-being before mine.
Mm.
Could I have been selfish in that moment and probably excelled in a certain degree and kept going in my athletic career? Yeah. But I know my body was going to give out soon.
Mm.
Because let's say, for instance, I did keep going with track, and then the fall 2016 situation happened.
Wow.
Could have died on the field and wasn't nothing happen.
Yeah.
So it's like I look at certain situations where all my decision making was based on other people, but I also see the path for what God was still keeping me.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't with certain people in my life during that time, or with certain friends or significant others,
Would it have made a difference?
mm-hmm.
Okay. I think about that like.
Because I feel like sometimes even in your mess, God covers you in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
because even in my mess, like even when I died, I wasn't in the best spot
Yeah.
spiritually. I was, but I had just given up a lot,
Yeah.
like sacrificed going to church and all this other stuff
Mm-hmm.
during that time. So I wasn't close to him as much as I used to be, and all my decision making was still based on other people.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, he kept me covered.
Yeah.
And grandma's prayers work.
Oh, very much so.
So, but outside of like that, I would say all my decision making were trash because it was based on other people. I FA'd a class because I had to get somebody out of jail.
Child, I FA the class because I ain't feel like going.
But that's the selfish version.
Again, like feelings because of how I felt.
I literally FA'd a class. I was on my last. First of all, I was absent for this class several times due to said person helping them. But they literally got locked up the night before, and nobody in their family could get them out, or at least be there for them when they got out to pick them up. I had to choose whether to go to class or leave somebody stranded outside of a prison. Outside of a jail. I was like, forget Spanish.
Not Goodness.
And I mean, and I told my professor about it. They was like, "You still violated the clause," and I was like, I couldn't tell her everything that happened with this person in order to probably get some of these
Like I
absences.
had a family emergency or something.
They want in my mind, it should have said that. There ain't no family.
I know.
But like that type of decision making. Like I've been in shootouts because of the wrong people. Like going to help somebody and then they turn bad. Or I don't know how I don't have children due to bad decision making.
Facts. I didn't mean to cuss. Facts.
If you gotta keep it a buck, yeah. So there's that, and that's all. So you count them up.
I should definitely have a 5-year-old.
Oh, you count up a time. Okay, I was gonna count how many.
No, it's just one. I should have a 5-year-old.
I should have.
Thank God for birth control.
I should have at least 3 kids. Should. Bad decision making, but even then, even my sex life was based on other people. Because
that was how I feel.
mine was out of the insecurity of I have to do this in order to keep somebody or to keep this person. So I did things in order to keep people.
Yeah.
Or help friends or people I thought were my friends because helping was what I knew. It's just part of who I am. However, I use helping to also avoid the things that was broken in me. So I felt more complete helping other people. Like if I ain't helped somebody that day, I felt trash during the time. Like if I knew people needed help, like, and y'all know me, a lot of my friends know, like if you need help, Jay coming.
Yeah.
Even if it is in the most inconvenient time.
Oh, many times you done helped my tires. I had a whole moment in college where my tires were just not having it.
A bunch of people had tire problems fooling around with me. And it wasn't because I was driving the cars.
Yeah.
Beans Auto in Notasoga save lives.
Yes. Them $25 tires.
$25 used tires. Good used tires. Get a new tire for $50. Hey. If I didn't
and I just spent $40 on a used tire not too long ago
and
here in Birmingham.
I know you was mad.
Yes.
Hey, I'd take anybody and be like, follow me. I'd be like, pull up to my house. You need some tires? Follow me. Drive all the way down to Notasoga. Oh, you're back. Nah, it ain't for me. It's for them. I might as well. I knew them by first name as many times I've been to Bean. But bad decision making based on other people. It helped other people, yeah, but ain't no telling what I was supposed to be doing at that time.
Yeah.
Like, missed out on tests. Didn't do homework because I was helping folks.
I'm sorry.
It's over now.
Right? Like, again, I was, like, calling on people. And so, like, even me asking for help was a little bit so. Like, when I would ask for help, I wouldn't. Sometimes I would think, like, I don't want to bother them. They may be doing something. Even that was from a bad place, not wanting to be a bother.
But that's the reason why I would always help, too, because I know what it feel like.
Yeah.
So that was annoying. Because I used to always have the mindset of, and I talked about in the podcast before, of being from a household that don't allow you to ask for help outside and stuff like that. Like what happens in this house stays in the house. That was internalized. So it got to a point where people used to be like, you know, Jay don't never ask for help. It's not that I ain't want to. I ain't know how to.
Yeah.
Without feeling that overwhelming trauma from it, if that makes sense. So like that caused my decision making to be trash. And then the entire time, instead of consulting God about it, I pray and then go do whatever I want to do. And that don't make sense. I never sit and listen, ever. Or I never, like now I pray like, Lord, you know, if you want me to do so-and-so, please give me a sign.
Yeah.
I don't do, back then, even if I did do that, it would be more based off of, all right, God, let's make a deal. Like, make a deal prayers is trash. But and even then in my decision making, I used to be like, all right, Lord, I need help in this. Show me a way. Don't wait for no confirmation, no nothing. I'd just be like, it wouldn't even be a full 5 seconds from praying. I would already be crafting a plan.
Yeah.
And go, this makes sense. This sounds sound. I've done research. Boom, finna go do it.
Yeah.
God, and I knew for a fact. If I think about it, God looking back at me now is just like during them times when I did that. Didn't this boy just fail, fail? You gon' that plan you got fail. This person you got fail. You ain't ask me about them fail. That's on your whole family. And then it was like it got to the point to where all my decision making. That's why I tweeted it. Like I said, I just now started realizing that some of the things I did were great.
Yeah.
Didn't know why, because I don't know how. Because God was there, but based off my own personal decision making, none of that should have worked. And I think back on certain plans that happened, I'm like, that shouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
But grace. So
yeah.
Even certain relationships, I look back and be like, that shouldn't even lasted that long, based on your poor decision making. Or like, and sometimes it's not against the person. Because I look at certain relationships, I'm like, this was good for me based off my maturity level at the time. But you learn certain stuff about it, and I look back on certain decisions, I was just like, could I have done a better decision based off that? Should I have prayed to God about this with this person? Not saying that, time wasn't up with certain people, but just how I how I should have treated them based off my decision making would have been better if God was consulted.
Yeah,
Not the eye roll.
No, I was like trying to be like when I was trying to be in a relationship with God in college, like my freshman year, like trying to, because I thought it was what I was supposed to do.
Interesting.
Like it was from the end of freshman year to
was spring sophomore year?
The beginning of sophomore year.
Was
and
that
it was like that September to October period.
16?
Yeah, 2016. So that
Why
September
is it 2016
was wild.
Okay.
So during that time, I had said, okay, I'm gonna be celibate because it's what I'm supposed to do, not because now I choose to be abstinent because it's like I first of all I understand the difference between abstinence and celibate.
Right. Let's talk about definitions that we didn't know back then.
But also
celibacy blues. Right.
But also I choose to be abstinent because I know what it means to God, what it means to me, how it relates to me, the value of being abstinent. Like that is why I choose it. At the time, I was just like, I'm not
supposed to be doing this.
Yeah. And so, that's why it didn't stick. What I'm learning about myself, what God is teaching me, is that when stuff don't really make sense for me, it's not gonna stick.
No.
Like when the benefit of it don't make sense, it's not gonna stick. When the benefit.
Wow, I just got a revelation. That's crazy. Go ahead.
Like now that I get the benefits, the spiritual and physical benefits of celibacy and mental and emotional benefits of celibacy or abstinence, like that's why it sticks. The same with the way that I eat and working out and all of that. The reason why it sticks is because I understand how it helps me. But even when I understood how it helps me before, the way that I see myself is also different. Because at the time, I wasn't seeing myself in that light, and that's why I made that post earlier. Wow. Because the way, what I look like on my Instagram page, I made a reel about what I used to look like and what I look like now. The reason why I look like that is not necessarily about the weight that I've lost. It's about the way that I see myself now, and
self-esteem.
Yeah, and it's and the reason why I'm taking care of myself the way that I am now is because I see myself very differently. And I talked about that in the caption, about how I made decisions based on how I felt about myself, and we all do that subconsciously, and we don't realize it. But I felt unworthy, and so I was doing a lot of things.
That reminds me of why I feel like
treat myself poorly. Yeah.
I think that reminds me of why I felt like I left social media for so long, and I still don't entertain it to this day. Is because, we on Instagram Live right now, but that's different. Yeah. It got to a point to where my insecurity and self-esteem was so low that I didn't want to see myself. And I just didn't want to see myself. I felt like even the stuff I was posting was cap. Because it wasn't how I really felt.
Same. I've done that.
I remember when I used to post certain stuff. Like, I think the last thing I had on my Instagram that really meant something to me was the picture I had with my friends before everything shut down.
Mm.
It was like January 2020. We had all went to a friend's lunch in Atlanta
Oh
at Chef J
yeah, I remember that
Rob's,
picture.
and it was
Oh,
just a good time. To like, these are. I was finally coming out of a mental funk to where I felt like these are my folks for life, for real.
Mhm.
And it was like I looked at some of the other pictures I had posted, and it was like none of the ones with my significant other, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Even that felt forced
Yeah.
because I wasn't a social media person. Like, I remember getting in trouble all the time for like missing National Girlfriend Day, but it was because I didn't know it was a thing.
I used to be that kind of person.
Like,
Like
I didn't, and the thing about it is, what people didn't realize is like for those days and certain stuff like that, I probably wasn't on social media all
Yeah.
that time to even know it was a day.
Yeah.
So
I cared a lot about social media and relationships, and it was just because of what it meant to me. Like at that time, I don't really care no more. But like at the time, I remember being so hurt because I wanted people to know
to
I was
know
validated or something
to
like
know
that.
that you was with this person.
Yeah, and it's just because it made me feel like it was really like a look at me type thing. Like, look at what I have. Look,
Mm-hmm.
somebody thinks I'm worthy, and it really ain't that deep. But I thought it was.
Yeah, and I think about it is I used to have to apologize for it because I started posting more on social media when it came to certain significant others because I knew how important it was to them.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I would still mess up because I wouldn't be on there enough to order to realize, oh, it's national, kiss your girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't, I wasn't on there
Yeah.
all day to even know this was a thing.
Yeah.
Or it's National Girlfriend Day. I'm looking at my calendar. Wait a minute, I don't say that in Apple, cause I wasn't abreast of those things. It was not.
Yeah.
Social media was not so important to me to be so addicted to knowing all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I don't like myself,
Yeah.
so I'm not posting pictures. I don't like the stuff I'm doing because it doesn't feel real.
Mm-hmm.
Or either I was so caught up in the work of the things I was doing that posting it didn't make sense.
Mm.
Like, and then it got to a point to where everybody was just posting flyers. Cause if you in org stuff, like, you gotta post a flyer in order to get. But my social media presence was so, I almost said the word, so trash that I'm just like, I know people not gonna come based off my social media. They come based off of me talking to them in person.
Mm.
Like, people knew about me from me having community with folks, not
Mm-hmm.
based off what I've posted.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, and folks didn't understand that my decision, like, the reason why I have never fully returned from social media since quarantine
Mm-hmm.
was because it was the first time when I had a chance to delete everything. I felt free.
Mm. Yeah, not being on there does feel very freeing.
And I didn't come back to social media for real until the White House insurrection. Now, that was the next January.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to quarantine in March of 2020. I was gone off everything. And then when I came back, I only came back to Twitter just to get news.
Yeah.
But like, in between that time, I was outside. Like, during quarantine and stuff like that, I was doing stuff that was more innate to me. Like, I was going boating in the fishing lake at Opelika. Like,
What a time.
climbing the fire tower.
What a time.
Like, doing stuff like.
And that's why I want to do that. Like, that's why my plan for my birthday is to do that, because that just takes me back to a time, like a nice time.
Yeah.
Those were just nice times.
But that's the reason why I bring that up as far as decision making is concerned, because that was still like before Christ decision making, but I was starting to make decisions on me
Mm-hmm.
based on what I wanted.
Yeah.
And in turn, I started to learn what God wanted for me when I started to look more at me instead of other people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because when you're on social media, you can get caught up in the hype, especially like with influencers and stuff like that. You'll like start to do things
Mm-hmm.
to get on their level or to be like them, and it's like
And
is that what he wants for you though? And like you're unable to see what he wants for you.
and that's not bashing folks that's on social media that
No,
do that. Because in
no.
my opinion, if that's like, especially if you have jobs that really cater towards needing a social
Yeah.
media presence, stuff like that, I'm like, do you?
Yeah.
But for me during that time, like, no. The more I got on social media, the more depressed I got.
Mm.
And I didn't know I was so depressed at the time. You know, I didn't realize I was going through depression until 2021.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know I was depressed for so long.
Yeah.
And I was combating it by doing other things. But in reality, I feel like I was battling depression probably since I got cut from the track team in 2014.
Mm.
So, like, if I look back on it, I was battling depression all the time.
Yeah.
And then when I died, it gave me a reason to have passive suicide
Mm.
because I used to wake up every morning and be like, I'm here.
For those who don't know what passive suicide is, it's basically like the thought of, what if I weren't here? Or
Mm-hmm.
like, would it make a difference if I were not here? Or what if I just drifted away? That's what passive suicide is.
And I had that thought from the time I came back from getting the ICD implanted in the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I probably had that thought every morning waking up since then.
Yeah.
It didn't slow down until I started getting more help last year, going into this year. But almost every morning now I used to wake up like, I'm here. There was one time when I wasn't. I don't know what that was like. And I struggled with that for like nobody knew. Like only people that saw me probably getting in certain arguments and stuff like that knew how much I struggled with mortality.
Mm-hmm.
But like once you've died once, you just like I can be gone at any time.
Yeah.
And during the depressive episodes, it's like, so why am I alive today?
Wow.
Or okay, I'm here. Yay. Should I be?
Yeah.
Or so you decided not to take me? You left me here? Like, dude, that's when the God conversations come in. I'm like, okay, I'm here for a reason. Can you figure that out for me? Because apparently I think, I feel rejected. Like, apparently I might not have been going to you at that time. And you was like, go back. This is just a reminder to know that I am here and I'm just warning you about the path you are on. But currently you ain't going to be up here. So I'm going to send you back down to try to rectify that. I'm going to give you a scare. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to let you die. But I'm going to put you back so you can realize where you at currently. And the spiritual aspect of that was just like, all right, I'm here for what I don't know, but I'm here. Even though I don't want to be here some days, a lot of days, 5 days out of 7 usually, out of a week. And then I remember one point in time, it was like every day I woke up, I didn't want to be here. And I was like, and the crazy part is, it was during my moments where people saw me have the most triumph was when the times I didn't want to be here. Like, halves induction, thought about dying that day. Like, certain significant others graduation, she probably don't even know to this day how much of a struggle it was to live that day. But I made sure to make it for that day. Like, it was like Mosaic performances, don't know how I made it through them. Because probably that same day we supposed to perform was probably a day I considered it. Several times. And the people was praising me like, oh, this Mr. Black Auburn, and they don't know Mr. Black Auburn considering not being here every day. Every day. And the only thing that was keeping me alive at the time was helping other people. Like, it wasn't class. It wasn't my dreams. It was making sure everybody else could accomplish theirs.
Yeah.
That's why I had sent a text to my boys the other day. It was my first time really telling all the boys in the group that I was dealing with depression. Only like a couple people knew.
Yeah.
But I told them, I was like, look, like, y'all, depression is real.
Yeah.
I deal with it every day. But it gives me peace to know and see y'all succeed, know I was a part of y'all lives in order to help y'all accomplish that. And that's Because to be told, if I wasn't doing that during those times, I would have been a white flag in the student center. And I know that for a fact, at least from 2016 all the way until 2020. And to be honest, my significant other now is probably the main reason why I'm still here, because we had a conversation where she told me when we were friends, cut it loose.
Oh wow.
She don't know to this day that that was a day I was considering I was done. I was done with life that day. And she was just like, in passing, because we always just pass each other and have conversations, she was like, look, all this stuff you doing, let it go. They gotta learn.
Yeah.
It's not helpful for you. I don't know what's going on, but I see you and it ain't okay. And at the time, she wasn't okay. But she gave me something that day that gave me life again. Because I finally made a decision for myself to be like, you know what, yeah. Because that day I wasn't 100%. Don't even know how I got up out of bed. And a bunch of times in the bed, I was hoping for a shock. And it was a couple of times I remember I was like, I wouldn't mind going to the hospital today. Well, I can't take it today. I'm tired. I'm tired all the time. So, bad decision making. Because I was always making the mental decision of, do I want to be here today? I really don't. I ain't got the energy to be here today. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, I don't have it. And then sometimes I used to have it in my mind to where I was like, okay, well, I think I got the people I care about the most enough help to where they can function on their own without me. Like all my friends and stuff, I'm like, I think I done helped them enough to where they'll be all right. I used to have those conversations walking down the concourse with myself. And people used to bump me like, yeah, Jay, you know, we coming to the event, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, Hav's doing this, or NAACP doing this, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, Jay, we surprised you doing this, you helping us, da-da-da-da. And in my mind, I'm just like, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy I was able to do these things for you, but I ain't. Internally, nothing. I was dead inside. And that's the reason why I got into certain conflicts with one particular significant other at the time, was due to the fact of I could never tell her that I was dead inside. And some of the actions that we were going through during that time made me feel even deader inside, because I felt like she couldn't see me. Even though I wasn't saying nothing, she couldn't see me. And Family Show can see me because my folks dropped me off freshman year and came back graduation. So they didn't know none of the stuff I was going through. So besides me dying, it was me dying and going to the hospital was the first time they had been to Auburn for real since picking me up like fall semester freshman year. And that's crazy. But it was a decision to live every day.
Yeah. I feel that.
There's a bunch of times that y'all was not supposed to see me. That I just think back. Yeah.
I masked mine with weed, like weed and witchcraft. That's all.
It was
because most times mine was more passive. It was more of, I don't like my life. This ain't the life I want.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I was talking all this stuff about like, oh, you can manifest your life and da-da-da, but I was just, I was like, I don't, I'm trying to manifest my life, but I don't like the life that I have. I don't like me. I don't want to be me.
It was like that. That's the reason why I would reach out to you, because I knew, like, I could see you going through that, and I knew what it was, because I knew what that silence looks like.
Yeah, because I would be very silent.
And
for
you
a while.
would not talk about it, but I know what it looks. I know how that walk looked. I know how that look in somebody's eyes was, because I used to have to look myself in the mirror and have it. So that's why when you was going through it, when I was starting to get a little better, I was like, yeah, I'm reaching back to you, because I know what it looked like. And a lot of people don't realize what it looked like.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, "Oh, you need to come to my house? Go ahead. The sofa right there." Because I knew what it looked like.
And that's really why I like was at your like I it was it was a bit invasive just with like me just walking in your house like when we were 805. But
everybody walked in my house.
But like the reason why I did was because that was like
I'm sorry. I know you serious. I still remember
that was
you
the
cooking on
first
my stove.
that was the first place I felt like these are my people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first time because before that, like I think I had lost a friend at that time. Like not she ain't dead or nothing, but like we just stopped communicating.
And that too.
I had just met a guy who we have sex, but I don't think he liked me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just felt more lonely than anything, and I felt like I would never find my people.
And I think that's why I purposely made a space wherever I was for people to have that, because people don't realize, and I think some of my Birmingham friends don't realize, like, because I was so broke in Auburn, I ain't had no transportation to get home, and a lot of times I ain't had no phone. I lost almost all my friends. Like, I think I only got a couple friends left from high school, like close friends. I lost all of my friends because the perception looked like to me that I just went off and disappeared. And like, you know how some people go off to college and they try to be bigger than what they are, and they just like, oh, I'm here now, I don't know you. And the perception was like that, but in reality I was suffering. I ain't had no phone, I ain't had no money, I couldn't get home, I ain't had a car. I did have a car. When I did buy one, it broke down like the first month I got it. Like Auburn 2014 snow. I hope that if you was back then, you remember. It was February.
I was not.
You were in high school.
I was.
But Auburn 2014 had a horrible snow that we was out of school for a week. And to the point to where it was snow and ice everywhere to where you couldn't drive. And if you did, you had a good car. Because folks' cars were sliding trying to get to College Street.
Oof.
So I had a lemon that I didn't know I had a lemon. Just bought it with my refund money. First good refund check. Got me a car. Woo! Drove it down to Auburn. Thought I was doing something. Snowed that next month. Car gone. Don't crank. Flywheel done. I'm just like,
wow.
And it was a Nissan Altima. The reason why I don't like them.
Of course. Always that Altima. I ain't gonna say always that Altima.
It is always the Altima.
I don't want to speak that over my car.
But I had lost so many friends, and I just knew what that loneliness was on campus.
Yeah.
Like, I was starting to gain friends at Auburn, but I still knew what that loneliness was when you walked around and you was just like, I know y'all, but are y'all my people?
Yeah. That's what 2015 was. I know y'all, but are y'all my people? Because 2015 is when I met those people that I came to the C program with. And no, nothing against y'all if y'all listening. I just knew y'all wasn't my people, and that's why I really wasn't around y'all like that. And then what solidified it was when I started dating this dude my freshman year, and like it just I started dating this dude, this girl. I liked him, and I didn't really know because they were never.
Oh, that she liked him too?
Yeah, they were never like open and honest with each other about where they stood.
Oh, and that's stupidity. Anyway.
It was, and her and I sat down and talked or whatever. And even at the time, like what we did was when we ended up getting together, when me and the dude got together, we sat down, we talked. And then for whatever reason, we felt like we had to go tell the rest of the group that we were good. And
you and the dude, or you and the girl?
Me and the girl.
Oh, that I remember watching this group. Anyway,
yeah,
I helped raise this group,
and I felt so strange around them.
This is weird
all the time. But like, I went in somebody's room who was living at the quad at the time. I don't remember.
Dad, don't drop.
No, I don't remember who it was. I just know they lived at the quad. Cause that day, like somebody was just like, one of them was just like, so basically, she stole her man, and I was like, what? And in that moment, I was like, okay, not gonna mess with y'all. And just disappeared.
Popped
Not
your
gonna mess
bubble.
with you.
Dang, just
But like,
that's terrible.
there was only one person that like I hung out with, but even then, I wasn't sure if she was like part of my people because I was just like,
Mm.
and so I didn't always want to be around her like that, and even my friendship with her was selfish,
Mm-hmm.
and it was because
Everybody in the group. Never mind. I just thought about something. Go ahead.
my friendship with her was selfish because I didn't necessarily like being around her. Or I ain't gonna say I didn't like it. It was just I can get tired of being around her.
Social battery get drained quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, the only reason we started hanging out more was because the day she was the first person who knew that dude was gonna break up with me because
No.
she ran into him
No.
and he was like, "Yeah, you need to be there for Yana. She
No.
going through some problems or whatever."
No.
And she texted me right after and was like, "I'm here if you need me." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And as she was texting, as I was reading her text, I saw him. He walked in, and I read her message.
Boy, that's terrible.
I read her message, and
No.
she was like, he just told me y'all having some problems. And I looked up at him and I said, why she just said that that you said we having problems, and we sat down and he broke up with me that day. And the thing, like,
That's so high school.
the thing
But
is,
then y'all were freshmen, so that makes
yo,
sense.
we broke up on April Fool's Day, so I thought it was I was like, "Are you sure this ain't a joke?" And he said, "I didn't even think about the fact that it's April Fool's Day."
Bruh. No.
But her and I were only friends because she knew, like, and I needed somebody at that time.
The horrible planning. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that was my first college breakup.
On April Fool's Day?
Terrible.
Bruh.
When I think I've only had 2 relationships in college, and
April Fool's Day.
that was none of them were good. One was better than the other, but none of them were good. Your face. You can relate.
No, I can't relate. It's just the connections. I'm just like, oh, really?
Yeah.
No,
They each had their. None of them were like.
Can't relate.
None of them were ideal.
None?
One was close, but like still not ideal.
Compared to what you need now.
Yes.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do some content. Cause I was like, whoa.
No, like you wouldn't.
I know.
Like,
I know. I'm just clowning. But even then, I was thrown off guard at first.
One relationship, I just didn't feel wanted.
I can concur to that. Yeah.
And so, yeah, but that was the only reason her and I were friends. Like,
that's wild. That was April Fool's Day.
And it was like I mess with her when I want to type deal.
The relationship or the friendship?
The friendship. It was like I mess with her when I want to. I felt like I was in a relationship like that too, actually. I felt like that was it. Like I mess with her when I want to. But I mean, again, you get what you attract. You are what you attract. So
that makes sense.
At that time, like that's what the friendship was, or the whatever was. Like I mess with her when I want to. Most times I don't want to. And then after a while, we just stopped being friends or stopped talking or whatever. And I was glad because I just didn't know how to keep that up. And I didn't want to come to a point of telling her, like, I don't really want to be your friend. Honestly, I think that's a harder conversation to have than
talking about friendships over.
Yeah. Over a relation, like a romantic relationship. I think it is harder to say I don't want to be your friend.
I would say this: it's harder to have the friendship conversation over the relationship conversation if you and your significant other were not friends.
Yeah,
That is the ultimate.
cause like,
Cause I done lost some friends,
yeah,
and that sucks more than anything else.
it does. It's a terrible feeling.
Yes, but I can say that in retrospect, it helped me learn how to better do things. It helped me mature, if
Yeah,
that makes sense. So it did help me mature. But
but yeah,
that conversation way worse.
but yeah, that's why I was on y'all couch at the same time. 'Cause I realized y'all were my people. But then, like, when I came to Christ, I started struggling and wondering if y'all were my people. And I started getting scared. Because I was like, was I only around them because I just needed somebody? What was the problem? And so I started, like, I don't know if I sent you one of these texts, but I sent, like, this long text. And I was just like, it was back in 2020. So you're
I
going
can
to have to
find it.
scroll.
That ain't nothing. I don't delete mess.
But I was just like,
I do, but I
I
don't.
don't know if, like,
I'm scrolling.
if I've ever like not been a good friend, because that's when I started really
I think
realizing.
you did send me this question.
Yeah, that's when I really started realizing I was a trash friend. But and I didn't realize I was just moving through life from that space, even with friendships. And I was like, if I've ever been a bad friend to you, I'm so sorry. Like y'all have been there for me, and it's really making me look at like how I'm not a good friend and all this stuff. And what Marvin is wild because he was just like, oh, well, I'm kind of like a revolving door. So, and I said,
What?
what does that mean?
What does it mean? Never mind.
I guess he's like cool with like the in and out stuff. I don't know,
Oh, he's cool with folks coming in and out
but I'm
of
not,
his life like
I don't
that.
feel right about that.
Yeah,
Um,
but he's also very to himself,
yeah,
so that makes sense.
and so like now I am like, okay, yeah, these are my people. I still worry because I like some of the group I don't interact with as much, and honestly, it's really just because I didn't know how. Like I felt like we were only cool in a group setting. I've never known how to interact with them outside of a group setting,
Mm.
and that was what the message was about too. It was talking about we've never really interacted as friends beyond a group setting, and so I don't really know how to maneuver it, and that's where I am now with some of them. And it's not that I don't want to. Like, if y'all are listening, like, it's not that I don't want to. I really just don't know how. And I really want to. I just don't know how.
I am looking at my Florida sabbatical through your text messages to me. It is quite interesting. Sorry, I was looking for the message, but I ended up
I
finding
don't even think I sent you. I might
it.
not.
You
Have
might
sent
have.
it to you.
It was 2020. A lot of things. Yeah, I think you did send me a message like that, but it was more like it was one of the few messages you sent. Like, I understand that you are my friend because you are my friend.
Yeah.
So it was like that message didn't go out to too many people. Not saying it's wrong, but
Yeah.
it's just like
It
you
went
got
out to the whole of 805, except with the exception of like a couple of people, just because
group setting,
group setting.
right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I
It
get
was mostly the people that I only interacted with in a group setting.
that you only saw in a group,
Group
setting.
setting, yeah.
Period. So that makes sense. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, so I made even my friendships were decisions made because convenience,
I was just finna say convenience.
and I don't want to make those kinds of decisions anymore. If I want you in my life, it's because I want you in my life.
Facts.
It's because I enjoy you as a person,
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoy who you are. I love who you are, and I want you here.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I just don't want to be alone and stuff like that. And I
Mhm.
had a relationship where I asked, like, are you with me out of convenience? And the person was like, I think every relationship has an air of convenience to it. And I said, I don't really agree with that. Because it's, in my mind, I was like, just don't play with me. Just answer the question.
That is a very bad way of answering the question. Is answering the question with a bad statement, but it's more of a Well, if you think about it, everything is one of them. Well,
Well,
everything has
everything's a social construct. It's one of those.
them social construct. Just answer the
And
question.
I was just like, yeah, I was like in my mind, like, please just answer the question. Are you with me because you want to be,
Or are you
or
with me
I'm
because
just
it's
is
convenient?
am I Mrs. Right or Mrs. Right now?
I don't know. I forgot about that as a statement. That's still
Are
hard.
you
That's still hard. That's hard.
are you
Am I Mr. Right or am I Mr. Right now? That's hard.
or is it like is it because you can't have the one you love, you gonna love the one you with? Like, is it one of them? Let me know.
There are a lot of families based on that decision.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. And I don't want that. I
that's
am a generational product of that. I don't want that.
I mean, yeah, I ain't a product of that. Well, I ain't a product of that. But yeah, I understand. I'm just a product. I'm a byproduct. How about that? I'm a byproduct. I'm
Okay.
not. I wasn't a planned product. This was not planned.
Oh,
This is
no.
more. This is more of the
Well, yeah, okay. In that way, I'm a byproduct because
You
I was not planned on either side.
Yeah, at all. I was a byproduct. So there's that. Bastard life for the win. My bad. Is that how the podcast ends? That's when the podcast ends. That's my bad. My bad. Put my head down. Don't know where to go from there.
Yo,
Ending.
one thing that I did think about was like a very trash decision that I made while working at Love Stuff is Love Stuff was just the
Wait a
hallmark
minute.
of
Hold-
all bad decisions.
Hold on. How this finna go? Cause
Yo, I met this dude approached me in Love Stuff, and I was trying to do what I was doing with somebody else at the time. And listen, I turned. he said, "I want to be your cake daddy." And because I was
I know this man old.
no,
He ain't.
dude was 26 at the time. I was like 19 or 20.
Isn't it? I mean,
He old now, but
that man.
well, not old, but he old
He
now.
sound like he was born in the 1920s. you know, lovely. I love to be your cake daddy. Nothing but flour.
Cause I was like, no, I'm not really looking for a boyfriend right now.
He didn't
And-
say
and
boyfriend.
I
He
just
said
didn't. No, this was before.
cake
This was
daddy.
before he said that. He was just like trying to flirt with me, and I was like, I'm not really looking for a boyfriend right now. No, it's a no for me. And and he was just like, well, I ain't gotta be your boyfriend.
I'd be
I
your
just
cake
I
daddy.
just wasn't attracted to him, but he was just like, I ain't gotta be a boyfriend. I could just be a cake daddy, and I was like, no. But then at the same time, this is why it was a messed up decision, because it was actually a very selfish thing and a very like dangerous thing that I was not considering at the time, that I didn't consider until very recently. That could have went very left. I passed him off to that friend that I was talking about, and I'm gonna say her name. And he's laughing at what I just did. He's not laughing at the situation. It's what I just did, not the situation. So I passed him off to her, and ain't that funny? I passed him off to her, and I went to her house that night, and she invited dude over. And in a way, that could have been very dangerous. That could have been very dangerous because I didn't know that dude. he could have like came back to her house and did something to her, like. And it was it's like when I think about it now, like I cringe about it because that could be a very dangerous situation. Um, but it was a decision again that I made based based on based on bad decisions, based on selfishness. Get off of the floor.
Hold on, I'm trying to breathe. Cause boy, if you saw how your I'm coming back. Give me a minute.
Other bad decisions that I've made, I have gone to somebody's house at midnight and have not known them. Like I knew them in passing, and they said they was gonna make some food, and I was like, "Ooh, food!" First of all, I don't know where your hands been. I don't know how you cook. I don't know what your house looks like. This is pre-COVID, but still, like I don't know you. But food at midnight, and that spiraled into a whole mess. And get off of the floor.
Give me a minute, man. I'm trying to breathe. I'm coming. I'm here. Just give me a minute.
And even though like we knew this person, I think that's what helped me like want to go to their house. Like if something happened to me, they gonna know who did it.
Talking about my house?
It was somebody who would come over your house.
And
it was just like, if something happened to me, they gonna know who did it. I ain't gonna just not be found.
That is true.
And I made a lot of decisions like that. Like, if something happened to me, you don't know who did it.
You did. Now that I think about it, you would do decisions that had a fail safe. Like, I'm gonna do this, but they gonna know if something go wrong.
Yeah.
Which is safe.
No, it's
in
not.
a sense. Like, it's kind of like, I'm gonna go do this, but you gonna have my location.
Like, I went to my weed man house at the time. Like, did not know that. Like, I would just go to, like, pick up my stuff and leave. One day, dude was like, yo, come chill at the house with me.
Yeah, they go. That's how they be. Every weed man try to pick up a girl from.
No,
like,
I don't think he was trying to do that because I think he had a girlfriend. So that don't mean nothing to nobody. But
I apologize for my outburst. I'm trying.
But like at the time, like I'm just sitting there with him and his roommate at the time. They was staying at the social.
Oh Lord, never mind.
And
nothing goes well at the social. I am one of them. I'm back. Hold on.
I'm sitting in the couch. I'm sitting on the couch waiting for him to roll. Cause we sometimes do this trade off where, you know, if I get him some game blues, he'll roll for me, or I'll smoke with him or whatever. It was one of them situations. It was the very first time I did that.
Everybody got a weed man kind of like that, at least once. It's like, if you go pick this up for me, I'll slide a little bit extra, or I'll roll you one.
And so I'm just sitting there, and it's him and his roommate, and I'm just sitting there like,
this is awkward.
And it's like, what's the line on Players Club? I felt like a mouse in a room full of snakes. It was like that. Whenever I'm in a weird situation, I say that to myself. I feel like a mouse in a room full of snakes. And I say it in Lisa Ray's voice. I feel like a mouse in a room full of snakes.
I can't drop again. Because I just saw her shoulders move. I felt like a mouse. Anyway, Players Club, love it. She ain't a great actress. We need to start giving her praise. She ain't. Did I say something wrong?
I'm not going to co-sign that.
You feel like Lisa Ray is a top 5?
I respect her as a person.
I ain't saying nothing about her being a person. I said her acting skills. She played the same role.
I don't remember anything else she was on except Players Club.
I'm going to tell you the role that I'm going to say that she actually did do well. It was in The Wood. And she was...
I didn't watch that.
You need to watch The Wood. And she was coming around. She was supposed to be one of the characters' wives. And he had went out one night and went crazy because he was scared to get married. And she had this scene where she was going off. And his best friend had to come in and try to calm her down.
Oh, wait, I have seen that.
You know when she was like, he over there think I'm one of these Thelma and Louise. I was like, goated line. But we don't give her props for that. I'm not mad. I'm not crying. Then why are you yelling? I was like, bruh, This is the most versatility she's ever had.
Ebony, make the money.
Don't
Don't
let
let
the
it
money
make
make you. Man, never mind.
I want to get. We need to have a black movie night.
Rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
Just get together. It's gonna be trouble. I want to have a black movie night.
I can't do it.
Just watch a bunch of black. It's gonna have to be like a. It's gonna have to start early in the day.
You got to start in the morning. You got to start
Yeah.
like 10.
Yeah,
It's too many black movies to get. Well, however, a lot of black movies are only about an hour and a half.
that's true.
Because you got to go through Best Man series.
That's what I was like. I thought about that today, and I was just like,
I do not feel like watching Jason's lyric.
the
But okay.
Ville need to watch
Best Man?
Best Man and just point out everybody.
Boy. DJ Quentin.
Absolutely, absolutely.
DJ Quentin.
Deal with it.
I see him right now.
Playing like got different jobs all the time. Playing guitar,
Doing all different types of stuff. But talented in
but
all
talented
of
in
them.
all of it.
And just be talking crazy to you real quick.
Yes.
Out of nowhere. But he make you think.
Yes.
You're like, where does he even came from? Wait a minute. You a villain, but.
Marvin Merch.
Yep.
Merc.
Yep.
Whatever his name is.
Merch.
Merch.
Is
It's
it
Merch.
Yeah, he's the yeah, but will Marvin get a candy?
He would surprise us and have one.
He'll change her life, just like in Best Man Holiday.
Yeah.
She was a whole corporate person.
Well, she was in school though. Like she was already in, so she was stripping to get through school.
Yeah, but she came up. Her come up was amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody in the whole entire movie.
We know who Shelby is. I'm gonna let you get it. Who? Okay, Merch was with Shelby first. There we go.
Hell is hot. I'm not even gonna go there with you no more. The movie over. Movie over.
Move it.
Movie over. We know it no more. Movie over. Sorry, Marvin.
I love you.
So that's how she kept it. All right. But anyway, other black movies and questionable decision making, like that last 5 minutes.
When I tell you, I used to want a loving basketball relationship so bad,
That stuff
and
toxic.
then was just as I got older, I was like, oh no, ma'am,
This is toxic.
all of it a mess, trash
This man
from the beginning to the end.
This man dunked on her. I play for your heart. He said, bet. He said, bet. He tore her ankles up. Good God. He like, you ain't finna get this. And to be honest, there's a lot of men
And then
out there that
came
feel
back,
like that.
and then came back. It was like double or nothing. Rude.
After you just demolished her. Double or nothing. Stupid. But in the end, she did become the WNBA player while he was on the side with the baby.
He was a house daddy.
He better be doing something else because his daddy had money.
That's true.
So he probably want to go work for his dad company, but you know, there's that.
Anything else? Any other bad decisions
I got plenty.
or black movies?
I got plenty. My whole life was a bad decision. That just got rectified.
We got 20 minutes.
Do we?
Yeah.
I don't think we need 20 minutes for that. But I was like, yeah, we gotta pay for it. What other bad decisions have I made before Christ? Because I made so many.
Oh,
Oh, you just thought about how bad that one was. Hold on.
I was just pulling up on folks that I should not have been pulling up on. Like, I had this thing where if I liked you, I'm going to follow you, like, wherever you are. Like, I'm going to know your schedule type deal.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And, like, it was a bad thing. Like, it's terrible.
Because you want,
and I think
you
about
know where
it-
you know where that come from.
What?
You wanted to look like Fate.
Yes, it was that, and it was because also I just didn't know how to apply, and I realized this because we have a friend in Bible study who she's currently going through the same thing with a person who was like me, who was doing that, like walking past to try to get you to get their attention
Mm-hmm.
or try to get your attention with hopes that you will talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just because I didn't know if the person wanted to talk to me. And so I would just like casually be there.
What is up with these shoulder movements?
I would just casually be there
Mm.
with hopes that they would reach out to me.
Medusa.
But I did that.
You see how you just
But
silky up
but I
here.
did that even in high school. That started before them. And those were
That's very Erica
And-
Badu-ish.
but that was a low self-esteem decision.
I'm gonna make my presence known. in
Yeah.
order to
I ain't
you
gonna
to
say
know.
nothing.
But my presence is gonna be known.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I don't do that now. I choose not to do that now. I choose peace.
Sultry.
I choose peace.
I'm going to appear in your atmosphere in order for you to notice me.
I
you
choose
know?
peace. I choose peace. And if you gonna say something, you gonna say something.
Facts.
I'm gonna speak up. You gonna say what you gonna say,
Mm-hmm.
and that's gonna be that. But
Yeah.
because I was very afraid of like having conversations and stuff like that, I didn't learn how to talk to people until I was 21 and a half.
That makes sense. Looking back on it, that makes sense.
Yeah. And it was because like what the catalyst of it was me like getting tired of holding it in and going down to where that person was and saying, I like you. Do with that what you will.
That's great. What? Like I understand, but I'm just gonna drop this bomb in your life, and you just gonna you pick it up.
He picked it up eventually. It just didn't work.
But even then, it's just like I like you. Bye. Like what?
Absolutely.
I
I
get
like
it.
you. I have liked you for a long time. I've liked you since we started messing around. This is what it is. And this also
Do with it
them
as you will.
situationships, terrible decision that I made before Christ. Situationships are just, first of all, I don't situationships are not supposed to be, but situationships are not for me. Never been for me. The way I'm set up,
I can't do it.
it don't work. I've tried too many times. I've tried my hardest to make a round peg fit into a square hole.
Tried it, failed, didn't work.
Don't work.
I'm too much of a hopeless romantic to just have a
Exactly. And
situationship.
I've tried my hardest not to be. And it just is what it is. I am.
Yeah, when you
And if I like you, I like you.
facts. And
I
I'm
can't
right.
just be like,
That's why dating is hard.
this
for me.
is what it is. We just mess around. I can't do
Right.
that.
Like, that's hard for me. Like how new school dating
That's
is
so
not really dating.
That's dangerous. But also,
I'm so one track minded. I can't like dating multiple people. Like I tried it and I was just like, if anything, I felt spread it thin and I could never focus on one person. I
Yeah.
actually gain some type of, not gain an attraction to them, but gain more interest because I was spread too
I
thin.
can't do it.
It ain't nothing to it. Like I've always been that way.
I can't do it. And like I
Like,
said, like
Even with like people like I know for a fact was probably a situationship at the time, I was
Mhm.
still probably only focused on that person.
yes,
Because I
even
couldn't-
in situationships, it was always
other people can do
one.
it. I can't. I've never been able to. And even if I do want to focus on one person, if I'm dating, I'm finna cut you off. Like I'm finna like focus on this one. Like
I don't
even
know how y'all do it. Ain't no judgment. I just don't understand. I can't do
I
it.
understand.
I understand, but I don't understand.
There's a certain level of detachment that
I
comes
know.
with it.
I know.
And I ain't.
and
got
I
it.
ain't got it.
I ain't got it.
Not for me.
Now I understand like the purpose of dating in order to get to know people to see who you will fit with. I get it.
And for me, that's just we gonna be friends first. That's what that is for me. We gonna be friends first. I got to know that I have to know that I can be your friend.
That's me because you need to be a friend with somebody in order to get in a relationship.
Yes, I have to
that-
know
I'm
that I
more
can
of
be
that
your
person.
friend.
But that's all. But that would make those type of relationships harder to have because if it ends, you lost a friend.
That's why. Then I told you last episode, like, or one of them last episodes, like, I
One
would
of them.
rather us be friends first. Like, even if you are interested, because if we become friends first, you may realize, oh, I don't like her like that for
Yeah.
real, and I'll realize I don't like him like that. But we friends.
Right.
We can
I-
stay friends,
Right.
and I would rather it be like that. Whereas we having sex and doing all this other stuff, and we cuddled up and
Oh no, that's different. That's
all
situation.
this, and
That's
them
situation shit.
yeah, and we having these situationships. And what I'm saying is, I choose we can be friends over having situationships. Like,
Oh
stop
no,
trying
I'm
to
talking dating.
stop jumping right into having sex, and then it don't work out, and it's all this confusion all over the place on both parts.
Well, it depends on the person, because some of these folks savage.
That's true.
Like some folks done got so dull and numb to it that it's
Yeah.
just like ain't no feeling to it.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
you
sad for those
damaged,
people.
you damaged, but I'm not. I mean, you hurt by it, but I don't care. Them folks don't feel
I'm sad by those people. I'm sad about those people.
same. And I remember I was starting to grow into one, and to be honest, it's not a hard process. So
It's not, but it's because
It's scary.
I started to grow into that person as well. It's not a hard process, but it's also like I know I don't want to be there
just all
because it's still not a good place to be in.
oh no, because it's
Because while I'm not feeling, I know the reason why I don't feel is because I'm scared to feel.
me. It's just like I've just been hurt so much. There is a coldness that is grown. It's not that I don't want to feel. I don't know how to,
Yeah,
because I've grown callous.
yeah,
Some people call them shields. I just feel like it's a callus.
yeah.
It's the difference between the two. Some shield you can bring down. A callus you gotta
You gotta soften it.
soften it, and sometimes surgically remove.
Yeah,
So
I think calluses on your feet, and you gotta soften them before you pumice them away.
thank
That
you,
pumice process might hurt sometimes.
thank you, health and wellness. I appreciate that picture. I just got in my head of my grandmother's foot egg. Thanks.
The pet egg.
Yeah, man. Side note, and it's just me. Hey, people who know old folks that got their pet egg, please dump it.
Ew.
I have seen some folks, the old folks that had a pet egg, like, yeah, I did it on my feet, yada, yada. They've been doing it for so long and forgot that it's a container. Bruh, I got hit by one of those and it bust open. And boy, I ain't been the same
I
since.
just saw it in my mind.
I ain't been the same since. That's a scary sight. I took a bath and a shower. Like I did both. Anyway, ain't it? Yeah. Sorry.
Well, that's-
Callous.
that's it for today's episode.
Just tripping.
We hope y'all enjoyed it. If
Ugh.
y'all know anybody that this will help,
Disgusting.
or that would just like this podcast, like to listen, like to connect with us, share this. Comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you like to hear. What you want to hear us talk about. What are some things that you may be dealing with?
Because 9 times out of 10, we done dealt with it.
Yeah, or are dealing with it. And we
Currently.
can share with you how God is walking us through it.
Mm-hmm.
This is meant to be community. I'm gonna say it all the
I
time.
need to start putting trigger warnings.
Yeah.
That's why I put it in the description.
This one wasn't too bad.
No, it was bad. Trigger warning. There's a trigger warning.
But yeah, share, like, subscribe.
We on YouTube,
We
Apple
are on
Music,
YouTube,
Spotify,
yes.
Wisdom.
Yes.
What else we on? Facebook. Because we had Facebook.
We do have Facebook. We don't use it like that. I don't use it like that. I was trying, but I didn't. But we do. Our socials and stuff will be in the description. But yeah.
Boy, let me tell you how God come through before I leave. Boy, check the email. Boy, I'm finna go do my homework.
And on that note, love, peace, and chicken grease.
That's new. I like that. Put it on the shirt. Put it on the shirt. That's fine.
That ain't new.
Yeah, ain't never heard you say that.
I've heard it said.
Love, peace, and chicken grease?
Yeah.
You country. I know I'm country. I ain't never heard them. Lies. My granddaddy said that.
See?
That's terrible. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Bye, y'all.
You're...